All right. Come on.
Welcome to Drawing Hive.
All right. Hi, everybody. Um, hope you're ready to draw tonight. Should be a fun night. We got a fun topic. Uh, thankfully, Adam Gustavson is here in the room with us. And thank you, Adam, for being here. We're going to have at least one other join us here soon. Um, I just want to remind everybody that big sign, that Visual Arts Passage logo that's there, that's who sponsors Drawing Hive. What we do at Visual Arts Passage, and we're enrolling right now for upcoming semester, is we help people develop careers as illustrators and painters. So yeah, if you have interest, check it out. I'm sure we'll be talking more about it tonight. But tonight, our topic, even weirder animals. This is Cassandra driven, and she will be here in a bit. But I loved the
My
uh,
people.
proboscis monkey, the saiga antelope, the knobbed hornbill,
All right.
and the toad-headed lizard. We got 4 pieces of reference. We're going to do 2 20-minute poses and 1 30-minute pose. And we're going to let the animals battle it out and see who's most popular at the end of the night.
I think it's going to be the monkey or the lizard. The lizard's got a smile.
True. And we've if you draw him, you've got like 20 to 40 minutes to ponder his orthodontia.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
teeth and what's not?
Yeah. Like if he needed braces, where would they go?
Yeah.
Everywhere. That's a headset for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. This should be a fun one tonight. I think we're ready to go. Timmy, you got any final words?
Yeah, everybody, please draw along with us. If this is your first time joining us, the reference is on our website. I'll share it in the chat once more people join. But please post your work throughout the night to Instagram using hashtag DrawingHive243, hashtag DrawingHive and Visual Arts Passage. We are going to check it out at the end of the night. It's my favorite part. It's the best part. It's pretty amazing. We got a lot of people here logging in real early, so this will be great. Yeah, let's start drawing, or let's you guys start drawing. I don't want to do illustration stolen valor. Adam, how's it been going? I wasn't here for most of last week's episode, so I feel like
Wait, was
like
I?
I'm gone. I don't know if you were here either.
Oh, you know what? I
I
think
just know I wasn't.
yeah.
We were here.
No, I had a good friend from grad school was in New York at the time, like chaperoning a trip of Wisconsin college illustration students. And so I got to catch up with him, and I tagged along on Friday for his like Chelsea gallery crawl day, which was really nice. It was
A little gallery crawl?
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice. What'd you see?
I am going to have to look at the list.
All right.
There were some really good like figurative painting shows, which
Oh, nice.
yeah, we were both pleasantly surprised by.
And you were there how many days last week?
I went in what, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, I think. Maybe it
Nice. Was that long enough for you do you have like things you like to do when you're in New York?
you know, what's kind of funny is I live 15 minutes or 15 miles outside of the city.
Okay.
Um, and my life has sort of become busy enough that I do so little in the city now.
Yeah.
When people come from out of town, they know more about what they're going to do than I do.
Yeah.
I love going to the Met, and there were always like certain rooms in the Metropolitan Museum of Art that were like, like my buddies.
Yeah.
But this one was mostly we went to this pub from like that's been there like on the edge of Manhattan since the 1700s for dinner.
Oh my gosh.
And and then the next day met up for the gallery crawling.
Nice. I saw Matt Salakis, photographer, has come on here. I saw him yesterday in New York, and we were talking, and he told me I thought it was a very funny story because you mentioned a pub from the 1700s.
Yeah.
He was talking about how he was with his kid, really young, this is few years ago, 3-year-old kid, and he saw this gigantic skyscraper that had just been complete outside the park, and he was like, "Hey, buddy, did you see that building there?" And he was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "That building is gonna be there my whole life, and it's gonna be there your whole life, and if you have kids, it's gonna be there their whole life." And he said he looked at his kid, and his kid goes, "I just wet myself." It was like nothing had been retained. But I love cities that have that like staying power of I don't know, they change, but there's there's like a core structure to them.
Yeah, there's sort of like as much as walking around New York, like almost nothing is where it was when I got to know it.
Yeah.
Um, and yet at the same time, I still walk around kind of feeling like when people say like, "Boy, so much has changed," and I'm kind of always like, "Yeah, except the stuff that hasn't."
Yeah, because I know New Yorkers that would lose their minds hearing what I just said, like being
Right.
like it's an unrecognizable city, and it's like I acknowledge that, but um I don't know. There's some pretty wild stuff where I've been in buildings where I'm like, it's really wild to go through the train stations there and be like, every single ancestor of my family came through this building. That's wild to me. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was a good trip. What was there any art that you did see that you're
Yeah,
particularly
there, there
blown away
there
by?
was, and I am completely blanking out on the names, which is, I mean, exactly like me. Ray Bonilla for these moments. Like
Yeah.
I,
Ray would know all the galleries.
yeah,
Ray
and
would
I'm
have
like
your itinerary.
there, like I really, I even bought some catalogs of shows when I was there, which that's how good they were.
Yeah.
And and it's a good thing I did because that's what it'll take for me to remember what show I went to.
Where were most of the galleries? What part of the city?
This was in Chelsea, so down in like the West 20s.
Yep, that's that's where they've all moved
Yeah.
to. Well, a lot of them have moved out of Chelsea now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like the last time I went to see a show that, I knew someone at, it was in it was I think I went to one in like the East Village, which surprised me. And then there was another one that was like in Chinatown, just tucked in between like probably walked past it a bunch of times first before I realized that that door was the gallery.
Oh, wow. And everybody, just so you know, the chat is enabled now. So if you toggle it to everyone instead of hosts and panelists, I wish it didn't default to hosts and panelists. Let us know where you're tuning in from and what mediums you're using. And I even ask, and then people still do hosts and panelists, and it just looks like we're talking to ourselves when you do that. It's like 90% of people only message hosts and panelists. What materials are you using tonight, Adam?
Right now I'm using a Cretacolor Sanguine in a handheld lead holder, and then I'll probably
Yeah.
might switch to a black one, and then I've got some gouache hanging out next to me, and I'll look around and see what other parts of the kitchen sink I brought to my university office today.
Thanks. Is that pretty interchangeable? That
Yeah, it's got this little,
nice.
and so these come in a couple different, there's
I
sort of
was just gonna say, is the diameter standard or is it?
yeah, it is one standard size. So like there's this particular company makes a bunch of different types of leads for it. I say leads, I mean a couple of them are graphite. But they make Conte crayons and pastels and um, you know, lots of different hardnesses of lead.
Nice. John, do you think you're gonna focus just on the monkey tonight?
No, I'm gonna obliterate this thing in just a couple minutes. I gotta jump on it and I'm gonna try something different. This is just in like dry pastel. And I'm gonna try to bring, I've never done it on this paper before. I want to see what happens if I bring some turpentine or some paint thinner and see what happened.
I love it. We got somebody joining us from work. Nice. Nice. Don't let the man get you down.
Right.
Keep drawing.
As long as you're not working for us, that's
Yeah,
okay.
as long as you're not working for us, it's good.
You're welcome to.
Yeah. Honestly, John, the people that work for us also just draw.
Right.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I have two routines when I'm in New York. One is I always go and get Russ and Daughters lox and bagels.
Ah,
And then I usually try to find a really good cannoli.
you're a good Italian boy.
I try.
Well,
I do
this
my
is
best. This is what I'll submit to the consulate when
right, right.
they deny my citizenship. Yeah. Be like, but I ate so many cannolis. Yeah. Nice. So have you been working on anything? Has it mostly been education lately, Adam?
Right now, it's mostly been education. I've been like drawing demo after demo after demo after demo.
Yeah.
So, and I'm teaching a class called digital painting this semester that I wrote, which means that I had no previous demos that I was using for it. So I'm like inventing all new stuff.
Is
And
that exciting or is that like an endeavor?
um both for this class, it's pretty exciting because I think I'm comfortable enough um with it. I'm also teaching a class called Professional Practices in Art, which I am comfortable with like 20% of. And I say that only because I'm a professional artist, but it's it's there's portfolio and you guys spoke in that class.
I was gonna say, was that the one?
Yes, that was the one. And it's the thing that makes it a stressful class in a way is just because it's everything. So it's not illustration specific. It's the class that the jewelry majors take as well. And the graphic designers and the animators and the painters and the educators.
Someone just asked if this is the first image we're drawing. It is, but Drawing Hive is still it seems as though the order in which and the time you dedicate to each image is still the Wild West here. So follow your heart, draw what you want to draw. We recommend trying to tackle at least three of them, but the panel doesn't even do that usually. So
Yeah, I thought these were rules when I first started.
no.
And
Oh my gosh.
They're
Sorry.
Adam, when I was in France with my dad, he had a pack of cigars and the waiter was like, "Sir, feel free to smoke if you'd like." And he goes, "No." And he pointed to no, it says like I can't remember, like non fume. It's like no smoking sign, right? And he goes, "Sir, it is only a suggestion." Yeah. It's a recommended rule.
that's right.
All
Draw
right.
like you're in the non-smoking section of a French restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. Ray Bonilla. We got the Ray Bonilla here tonight. Pretty awesome digital
Talking
painter.
about
Joe.
here, one we're talking about drawing hive stogies.
Drawing knife stogie. Yeah, that's the only it's been 5 years. I haven't made any merch ever for Drawing Hive, but that's what we'll decide to do.
Right.
I'll sell like four of them to family members. No, we are not selling no Drawing Hive
Felicity would want
Smoky
them.
merch. Yes.
Yeah, smoking's bad, kids.
Yeah, it's bad.
It is.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So Ray, we are just going over materials. Obviously, you're in Photoshop. I was gonna ask you, have you at any point, do you ever like step out of Photoshop or consider other apps, or is that your home?
For drawing and painting on a desktop, it's my home, but I mess around in I use Procreate quite often on my iPad. Um, so yeah, outside of that, I don't. I've tried stuff here and there, Corel Painter, and but I really haven't tried something like Clip Studio or anything like that. But I hear great things about it.
Nice.
Ray, I wasn't expecting you when you were telling me your schedule of what you had due this week. Isn't tomorrow a big delivery day for you for Magic?
It's already delivered. Day ahead.
Whoa, can we talk about it?
No, maybe in 2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Can we like do a teaser of like can we not even say the M word, magic?
I guess I could
I guess I
say that
did,
I
sorry.
was. Yeah,
You
that's
did
okay.
not hear it here, people.
It was. I think it was John actually that
Oh,
Broke the rule.
that
all right,
broke the
everybody.
NDA.
Yeah, I'm
All
sorry, man.
right, everybody,
That's okay.
Sorry, everyone. This meeting is over.
Yeah. Welcome to the vault, everyone.
Welcome to the vault, everyone. That you know what happened since we know it's the vault so early. It means the rest of this thing can just go off the rails.
Right. All football projections from here on out.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'll snip it out. Um,
No, but I had a deadline and I turned it in. Happy with the work.
how do you do with
And
deadlines? Does do you wait till the last minute or do you spread it out?
no, you know, no, I don't. I don't wait till the last minute at all. I attack it as hard as I can, and then um, back in the day, I would just work on it forever until the very last moment. But then uh, basically, when I was juggling multiple projects, you have to just kind of, which I am doing now.
Yeah,
You just have to say, I'm spending X amount of time on it. Um, and at that point, I know my process well enough that I know how long it's going to take, and I just execute. That's pretty much it.
yeah,
So no, maybe when I was in undergrad, I would work until the wee hours of the night trying to make it as good as I could, but
yeah.
it doesn't really staying up and working on stuff doesn't necessarily make my pieces better. It just
No, yeah, it
it's
doesn't.
more it's more yeah it's more
I
romantic, right?
uh,
Right.
I don't even know. It's romantic. I
Yeah.
think it's just
Yeah.
I have a teaser thing I've got to edit after this, and I know right now there's just no point in exercising the attempt. I just need to message them like you'll have it in the morning, you know,
Right.
like late morning.
Yeah.
You're gonna have it like
Right.
West Coast morning. You know? Yeah. No, you guys are on the East Coast, but yeah,
That's great.
yeah. Like 9 a.m. Hawaii time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Ray, I actually this is you'll appreciate this, Ray. So I was in New York this week and I had a late night out last night, which was very fun with some comedians, which I just like sat silently and listened to them talk, and it was hilarious. And I did not want to leave, so I was out like crazy late. No drinking, right? Totally not even a one. But I was so tired this morning. I fell asleep on the subway going to the airport, and I woke up in your old neighborhood.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Some guy was like, "Hey man, this is the last stop." Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Did you,
not a good situation.
are
Wow.
you still there?
No, I made it home.
Okay.
I made it home fine. I knew how to
I
figure it out.
thought you were still on the train. So
Yeah, I am still on the subway right
yeah.
now. Uh,
News is the tunnels have really great reception these days.
it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
Did you ever fall asleep on the train? Was that a subway?
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever missed maybe I missed my stop a long time ago, but you develop a ability to fall asleep without fully falling asleep.
One eye.
Right.
Interesting. Yeah, I was out. And then I woke
Yeah.
up and I was like, oh no. You know what's funny is I was so out of it. The person that woke me up didn't thank them, didn't acknowledge them at all. I was just like, oh my God, I gotta move.
That's got to be the most like traumatizing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I had plenty of time, so it was fine. But I wish I could track them down and be like, that was really nice of you, so that I didn't go like all the way back to Manhattan on this train. You know,
Amazing.
yeah. We were Adam saw a bunch of shows in New York. You did some gallery hopping, right, Adam?
Yeah, yeah. And if Ray had been with me, he'd be able to tell you guys the names of the artists I saw.
I was gonna ask Ray, what are some like small kind of sleeper galleries, like galleries people don't talk about, but that you just like adore? Or is that a tough question?
In New York?
It doesn't have to be New York, but I think of New York when I think of those.
Yeah. That's a really tough question.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that. I mean, I mean, I don't get out much these
Yeah,
days. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. There are a lot of galleries I really like.
yeah.
Um, I would
I
say like one in if you're ever in
Yeah.
Boston, I would recommend Sloan Merrill Gallery.
Okay.
Um,
I'm familiar with that. I think that
yeah,
they spoke with Visual Arts Passage, I think.
yep, they did. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ali Ringenberg. Yeah,
Yeah.
um, it's just a really nice gallery and really cool part of town, and they've got some really good artists. You're like, whoa. Um,
That's great.
yeah, I thought Adam, did you just walk around Chelsea?
Yeah, yeah. We just did the Chelsea thing. Uh,
Yeah,
Started at like 26th, then worked our way down.
yeah. There's yeah, with stuff like that, it's like that's a space where you like walk into a place and you're like, what is going on here?
Right.
And like this is amazing. Uh,
I um I wanted to see one show while I was in, not so much, it's performance art more than it is anything. Um, but this kind of comedic writer. I mean, it's totally performance art. He young guy like realized that nobody had like a current, like I don't know if it's nobody had a trademark, but like nobody is policing the trademark Enron right now. And so he decided that he would like pretend to be like a fake Steve Jobs like character reviving the Enron company, right? And
oh,
it's like all of this like really strange, like like corporate speak and all that, and it's about the future and technology, and he's never saying, it's all just like word salad garbage.
yeah,
But he does the character so well.
Huh.
And he hosted, and it I want to remind everyone because it blows my mind that people don't pick up on the satire of this. He hosted a an AI art show that is not he's not it's funny because people think he's getting a ton of hate for it, but he is making fun of it as it being stupid. um
right.
but yeah, it was pretty interesting. It was really very funny. I saw bits and pieces of it, but I'm gonna
Is it-
look up the guy's name, but if you just
and
follow Enron on Instagram, you'll see a lot of it. It's very funny.
it was a gallery in Chelsea. What
I
was that?
can't remember. I think it was, yeah, I think so. I'm trying to remember where it was. I was surprised by the the space. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, all the headlines, like there's like there's like news organizations writing articles like, I guess Enron is back. Like they're not, and you're like, guys, the media, you gotta have better media literacy.
Right, right.
You can't, yeah. Yeah, here's one headline. Is Enron back? And if for those that don't know, Houston is where Enron's from. Um, Houstonians don't find it funny. And it's like it's satire.
Right.
It's corporate satire, guys.
You're literally supposed to find it funny.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know. At any point there's like 100 cool things like that, I feel like, happening on any given day in New York.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in that area too. I mean, shout out to 10th Avenue Pizza. That is one place
Is
that
that your
always
pizza
shows up.
spot?
Yeah, and I think it's not my pizza spot, but it is a solid pizza place.
Really?
Yeah, but I haven't been there in a couple of years, so take it with a grain of salt here. But 10th Avenue Pizza's always treated me right. Adam, you go to 10th Avenue Pizza?
I don't, maybe by accident once, but I used to have a loyal pizza place and then they turned into a nail salon.
Yeah, that happens, man.
I used to, after going to grad school there, I used to go to, if I was in town, I went to Maffei's down on 23rd and 6th. And then one day it was a place to get your nails done instead.
How were they?
Delicious.
I assume you got your nails done.
Yeah. And then I
Yeah,
cleaned them afterwards. So if you're a nail biter, you don't notice the difference as much.
that actually happened to me. Well, yeah, my favorite pizza place. It's not because I'm a narcissist. Was actually the original Ray's Pizza, like the first one. It was called Ray's,
Right.
just Ray's, and it
And it
was
has
in
nothing to do with you being a narcissist. That's what you're
no,
saying.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, kind of. But
I just like the way the place sounds, right?
Right.
It's the name, just
Right.
rolls off the tongue,
It's got a
yeah.
ring to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got a ring to it. Like what
Hey,
they say,
everybody,
remember
yeah.
it.
we should move on to the second image. It's please post it to Instagram. Don't wait till the end. Do it now. It's hashtag drawing hive 243, hashtag drawing hive and visual arts passage. We just dropped it in the chat. Ray, my favorite spot is Joe's Pizza, but I wouldn't really defend the quality of the pizza other than I just think it's I just like being there. I think you go see comedy in the village and then
Yeah.
Joe's, and then you might see like a comedian, you see it's where you see people. And I don't know.
Yeah, you
I'm a sucker for
pay
that.
for the ambiance. Yeah.
Pay for the ambiance. Yeah.
You're allowed to. Well, I mean, one thing I was like hesitant to say what happened because Adam said that his pizza place turned into a nail salon, but mine's turned into a pizza place, that a worse pizza place in my opinion. I couldn't find. I went back and then I couldn't find it, and I realized it was this thing called Prince Street Pizza, which is beloved. And I went in, I ordered a slice. I was like, it's got to be the same. And I was like, what happened to the Ray's Pizza? And the owner was like, oh, they retired and,
Oh.
but it's the same oven and everything. I was like, okay. So I ordered a slice in it. And I just remember thinking, it's not as good. It's not as good.
Might
I
have
was-
put it in the
you
same
know,
oven, but my
I
wife
was
and I use
hoping-
the same oven.
Yeah.
I was hoping they'd say like, just the name was just not working.
Yeah. First thing I did was get rid of the name.
So what's it like, that it's funny, these animals, their anatomy is so strange and like not, it doesn't look it's not that it's not natural, it's just like you're just like, what? How do you, is that harder to manage when you don't, like, when your frame of reference, because like these don't really look like other animals.
Um, they they don't, but they do. Uh,
Yeah.
I have this kind of annoying shtick talk that I do, and whenever I give an assignment and people are trying to draw animals and they have trouble with it, this talk I give called "Everything is a Chicken," and it's kind of premised on like everything has some version of the same parts. It's like it's gotten a little longer, it's gotten a little shorter, it's gotten fused, it's gotten but even this guy, you can tell it's not that hard to put him in a dress shirt and necktie. Because he's not that different from us.
I'm so happy Adam's here to answer that question.
But yeah, he's like, right in here, that's his cheekbone right here, and there's those little kind of saddlebags we all have under our eyes. His brow line has, he's got a very short forehead that's on a tight incline, but it's still his brow muscles sit around his eye socket very similarly. The bone of the bridge of his nose probably ends right about here, and then his cartilage does its cartilage thing. He's got the same sort of like whisker pad smile line that we have. And then you just picture him having kind of like a weaker chin than the human jaw. And then yeah, right here, and then that smile line shape. It's like if you follow from like the corner of the nose here across, you see like this is like just that same kind of pudgy fat pad that we all smile with. That's creating this volume here in his fur. And that goes up, and then there's this flat spot for his temples. So it's not, if there's something you do know, understand about the world, you can, I don't know, a lot of times you can sort of find it in the thing you're trying to figure out. And beyond that, it's just nice that he's got a good light source. So like the shapes confirm what you think you're looking at.
Yeah, it's a great shot.
These the antelope's horns look like you wouldn't want to, like, they look sensitive.
Right.
Yeah.
Not like the monkey's nose, which he is definitely sensitive about, but
Yeah.
not.
Just knowing just knowing the complexity of nature and like, you know, evolution and how these things form over time and what you become, and of all the animals that look really cool, and then you get a nose like that as a monkey and you're like, what?
Right. Like what corner did we turn down 50
What?
ago?
Yeah, it's great.
What dark alley of the gene pool brought this on?
Yeah,
Who did we piss off?
yeah, exactly. It either works really well or not at all. I guarantee it's not just an average nose.
No, right.
Yeah.
I wonder if
It's
they have a great sense of smell.
Yeah,
Or
it's that, or it's all, or it's designed to like thump their enemies.
Right? Yeah. They survive through their ears, that you can't see.
keep them
Yeah.
awake when they're in a, dangerous spot.
Yeah. Oh, nice. We got somebody here from Costa Rica. A lot of weird animals down there.
Shout out to
Sorry, no offense. I didn't mean it like in a weird way.
All right. That is not the first thing we think about when we think about Costa Rica.
Well, I just thought it was on topic, right? I wasn't like
Yeah.
dogging on Costa Rica, being like, y'all got some weird animals down there.
Talking about weird animals, shout out to Costa Rica.
No, they got
No, no.
they got all the lizards. I bet they got snakes. I bet they got some good snakes. I bet they got some scary bugs. Yeah. I would not camp without a net in Costa Rica. That would be a requirement for me, I think.
It's like it's an incredible call. Yeah.
Yeah, and and then even then, you still might think like whatever creeps up on you now just goes like, oh my goodness, it caught itself.
Right.
Um, I-
Look at it.
Ray,
Played its
John,
own net.
I have a question for you, Ray and John, about gallery work, or maybe Adam, you can weigh in on it too. With animals, it, and I know Cassandra will be here in a bit, and Cassandra is the queen of animal portraits in galleries, but do you see a lot of galleries do you see animal portraits or animals in paintings often in galleries, or is it something rare?
Well, there's Martin Whitfuth.
Depends which gallery.
Right. Yeah, which gallery, of course. But just there's a space for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
there's a lot of. I think it depends on whether we're talking about sort of like like these sort of like straight up like pretty. This is a pretty picture. This is a pretty horse, or like animals as like allegory for some big,
Yeah.
larger, more ambitious statement.
Yeah.
In which case it's like I don't know that the distinction is that it's animals so much as like is it
Mhm.
is it a good painting that gives you a meaningful experience would be my guess. But with that regard, I think there's still, I don't want to say it's going to sound cold, but like useful in as a picture making
Yeah.
metaphorical content.
Well, I mean,
Did I,
I
did I make
remember.
that sound like snooty enough?
No, I don't think so. Well, I mean, I remember when we had, I mean, whenever we, there's probably no faster way to get somebody to buy your art than draw their animal.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, I'm not a picky non-artist buyer, right? Like when it comes to when I say artist, like drawing, like I tend to be like, if I like an artist, I'm like, do your thing. I don't art direct at all. And so like if an artist I like drew animals and I like connected with it or reminded me of an animal, like I would want it.
Yeah.
There are people that like they can't like help but like stick their fingers. It's like the Budinsky of people, it's tough. I think that's a tough one. I don't know. Maybe it's a desire to be creative.
Right. I mean, if you think about it, we were, our the culture of creativity is loaded with, people who either get credit or profit from being the person who found the person who was the creative person,
Uh-huh.
right? We do sort of love that.
Yeah.
So it's the land of opportunity, especially if you're looking for the opportunity to find someone who seized an opportunity already
Yeah.
and be able to say that you were the one who found them.
Yeah.
Sandra set up yet?
Sandra.
Yeah,
Hi,
Cassandra's here.
sorry I was late.
Oh my gosh. Cassandra.
Can we give like a congratulatory explanation or is it
Yeah,
top secret?
I'm very proud of her. My daughter Maven was given this award of art excellence for her school district.
That's amazing.
Let's
So
go, Maven.
yeah, so really proud of her. So we were just at the Board of School Supervisors meeting, and it was really funny because I met up with friends of mine and
Yeah.
I met them in college, but they all ended up becoming doctors. Like one is like the head of cardiology, other is like a pediatric doctor, and their son like got second place in the district school spelling bee, and he was
Yeah.
getting an award there. And they looked at me and they're like, "Is she here for art?" And I was like, "Is he here for the spelling bee?"
That's so funny. I would love it though, when they always talk about like the science fairs where like you could tell who all the projects that the parents did. I would love it if all of your daughter's paintings were like classical portraits of animals.
No, they have their own very unique voice. So
No, that's amazing. Congrats to her. That's awesome.
yeah, so I was really proud.
Yeah.
Shout out to Maven, friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Friend of the show. Friend of the show. Every once in a while, if you're lucky, there'll be a pop-in.
Yeah, yeah, they love
It's
to pop in
exciting.
every so often.
They love to do a pop-in. They don't have enough time for a full feature.
They like to show up and give you fun facts.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've just been kind of talking what we've been up to. We had a lot of New York talk. What have you been working on this week other than the accolades your daughters received?
Yeah, I'm just writing their wonderful winnings. I finished up two pieces, one for that's called for the show called Prose.
Mhm.
And I had fun. I restored an old cabinet door to put a Peter Rabbit piece in. And then I did another piece for a gallery out in Oregon. So for a show called Into the Woods. And then I started my mini solo for Robert Lang. And it's like their mini solo because they have something called the Mini Museum, and it's this nook in the wall. And they put mini paintings in it, and they set up people and like little velvet rope in it, like little miniature people. It's like a whole, it's like a giant diorama that they put smaller art in. So I have a show in the mini museum in May. So I started all the work on that.
That's awesome. It's so funny because literally like 10 minutes ago, I was like, hey, Ray, do you have any like small museums that are, or not museums, small galleries that like really you love, but they're kind of a hidden gem and they're doing something small? I used the word small like 10
I
times.
I don't know how else to get across how random this thing is that I'm really
Yeah.
excited to do. So I'm restoring these rosettes that are 150 years old out of
Yeah.
like old homes and putting mini birds in them.
Wow.
You're ambitious, Cassandra.
Huh.
Yeah.
John, we've got like 20 minutes left in this pose. Do you want to wait till the end of it or do you want
Well,
to
I've
jump
been
into it?
waiting for Cassandra all night.
Should we do it now?
I'm here. I'm ready.
Okay, Cassandra, you're gonna have to help me with this one.
All
So
right. All
I'm
right.
just,
For those who don't know, it's about to get very educational.
all right. Am I sharing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. You are sharing.
Right.
You are sharing.
Okay, that's good. Good, good, good.
We
Here
have
we go.
sharing. We
Shared
can
is
confirm
occurring.
sharing. Yeah.
All right, Cassandra.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Oh,
Yay. My hero.
I could not do this without you, so I had to.
I don't see the correlation, but okay.
I don't either. So Helen Beatrix Potter, born July 28th, 1866. Incredibly important illustrator, artist, writer, uh, scientific illustrator, and conservationist. Does that pretty much cover it?
I would add environmentalist also.
Environmentalist. We know her. This is maybe her most famous title. But she produced over 60 books. I find this really amazing. The tale of Jemima Puddle Duck and the tale of Tom Kitten have sold 250 million copies.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Rock star. She's a rock
absolute,
star.
absolute rock star. I adore this stuff. It's so well done. Cassandra, I see you in every one of these pictures.
Yeah, she's just truly an art hero for me. Like, she was the person that I looked to that showed me that it's animals in clothes, not like that's the rabbit anatomy that she's adjusting to be upright. Like, she's thinking so hard about what is unique about those animals.
So interesting. An interesting fact about her. She grew up kind of an upper middle class household. She was educated by a governess and isolated from other children.
Hmm.
She had plenty of pets, and she grew up in the Lake District, which became very important later in life. Um, she studied watercolors, painted landscapes and what was around her, and eventually that was kind of the beginning of the scientific approach. Say anything you want to her about her.
Well, she had an isolated childhood. She had a brother, but really, because it was so limited, she really thought of the animals as her friends, and she wanted to get to know them better and observe them better, and she had a really great governess that helped her embrace that love.
These are all so charming. They kind of make you happy.
We really do. And Peter Rabbit came from just writing a friend's child a letter because they had been sick, and she just kind of started sending him a little bit at the tail at the time, and they were the ones that were like, "This is a thing. Like our children are crazy over this." It took her a while to convince her that it was worth doing something more with it.
Am I saying this right? The field of mycology?
Yeah, she just loved fungi, and she did amazing observations and watercolors of them, like those specifically like scientists really look at now. They wouldn't back then because she was female, and they didn't really appreciate that she had any skills in that, and a lot of it was self-taught, but now it's widely appreciated, and she's recognized for her skill with that.
I have a few of those. I love this little landscape.
Yes. And Jemima Puddle Duck.
These kind of bounce all over the place, Cassandra. I'm sorry. I don't know the
Well, and when
words as well.
she like wrote, finally got her head wrapped around the idea of writing a book, she applied 6 times to different publishers, and she was rejected by them all until she was finally encouraged to just self-publish. And she did, and it took off, and publishers were like, "Oh, wait, hey there. Like let me help you out here with this."
These are terrific.
Aren't they just beautiful?
Wow.
So when I don't know how much of your story you want me to tell, like.
But no, you can tell anything you want.
So when, Peter Rabbit took off and she started to profit it, like the publisher, the editor that really helped her with Peter Rabbit, that's who she was engaged to. And sadly, he got sick and passed away. So she kind of decided she needed to move out of London. And so she went to the Lake District, where specifically Keswick, which is where she had summered with her family. And so when she went out there, she bought Hilltop Farm, which is now like her museum, which I've been to, and it's as delightful as you can imagine. And she really was so inspired by the landscape. And that became really important to the illustrations. You see so much of those farms, and she became obsessed with farms. And is it the Heswick sheep? There's a specific breed of sheep that's um, particular to the Lake District, and it was kind of failing as a breed. And she took great interest and started to buy up farms. She bought up in her life a total of 15 failing farms and invested her money in them to revive them and revive the breed. And at the end of her life, she ended up being the president of that breed's. They had a club, and there had never been a female president before, but they wholeheartedly accepted her in as president because she had so much knowledge on that breed. I read her biography, and there was like 45 pages just about sheep. Like
Yeah. Herdwick sheep. She became
Herdwick, that's it.
really successful, bought 4 farms. At the end of her life, she ended up owning 4,000 acres, which she dedicated. She put it in a trust, a land trust, donated to, I guess, the UK or to the area, which is the
The National Trust. Yeah.
yeah, which is right, I guess I guess part of and connected to the Lake District.
Yeah. She saw that developers had interest in the land, in a way that would kind of tarnish its natural beauty. If you've ever been, it's just this valley surrounded by old mountains, and it's just so lush and lots of pasture and perfect for farms and lakes, and hence the name Lake District. And so she kind of saw the writing on the wall. So she took a great interest in quickly buying up as much as she could so that she could protect it. And so she'd always intended that it was, she never thought of it as hers. She just thought it needed to be protected. So when she passed away, she made sure that it was entrusted um, to the National Trust so nobody could build on it.
That's it. And she had, yeah, just think about like when she was doing this. This is before, we know the animation world. And she had a tremendous amount of influence on what happened with animation, the way people drew, her process of doing these. Really, really amazing stuff. She's an incredible illustrator
Mhm.
and just a really amazing human being.
Yeah, and she also was a big recycler. Like she thought it was important not to waste anything, so she was really big on like if a sketch didn't work out, she would recycle the piece of paper and reuse it. She really wanted to she thought about things in ways that is very modern now. And then also to have the amount of power she did as a female in this era when women, a lot of them, the focuses was on like who they were marrying or, working in a house as a servant to make like there was very it was very limited for women at this time, especially in England. So
Well, she became amazingly financially successful.
yes.
And I like what she did with her money. She put it in all the right places.
It really did.
I have a few photos. This is photos of the lake. This is a shot of the Lake District.
And it's in northern England.
Absolutely beautiful.
I loved it. I remember I went and you would go into a pub and it would be something like it would be split down the middle, and there's the side you go if you don't have a dog, and there's a side you go if you do.
Interesting. This is where she spent all of her summers, according to what I read anyway, or a
Yes.
good number of them. And this was her home.
Isn't that lovely?
And is this the building that you went to?
Mm-hmm.
This
That's
is the
Hilltop
museum
Farm.
now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or- Absolutely gorgeous. And that's Beatrice Potter. So,
Nice.
Cassandra, thank you I knew that you would be on point for that.
Sorry, I'm like obsessed. Like I want to figure out how to be more like her. She left the world a better place, and what a beautiful legacy.
It's nice if we could all do that.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, John.
Yeah, thank you for helping us so much this week. Cassandra chose all the photography.
I thought these animals are so funny. I had painted a proboscis monkey before, but I hadn't painted the other three. And like I thought that the Saiga antelope looked like a character out of Star Wars, and I thought that the toad-headed agma lizard was something that was maybe inspiration for Stranger Things. Like I could see how character artists had studied some of these animals, and so that's kind of how I ended up picking them.
Yeah, there's no question that some these animals were one of the three animals we used, were
Right, one of many.
was used for Star. Of any kind.
Well, I I kind of I kind of blurred mine with been kind of painting over and just smudging this stuff around. Mine's looking pretty close to Elmo. So
Yeah. So fun. So fun.
I'm not sure this is gonna work. But
Oh, it's gonna work. You
Oh.
got the highlight on the nose.
it
So
was worth a
wonderful.
try. We'll see. Haven't tried these materials on this paper or don't know what it's gonna do. It's just kind of sliding around. We'll see.
Yeah, but I thought obviously like Ray and Adam, you're having fun with what you're doing with the animals, but like they're just animals that are so odd looking. I feel like they just spark creativity.
Yeah, I mean the monkey has such, his eyes are so sensitive, like
Aren't
just,
they? I just thought they looked like
yeah,
old men.
right. He does
Yeah,
look a little like Great Uncle Bruno.
and I was basically just copying Adam's idea of putting the animal in clothes, and then I realized when I was thinking about it, I was like, oh my god, this is Cassandra's night, so I gotta show up and support here when in Rome.
Much
Right.
appreciated, friends.
I thought you were going to say, then I decided, oh, Cassandra's actually showing up. I better be careful.
Yeah, right.
No,
Yeah, had I known Cassandra was showing up, I wouldn't have attempted this
no,
live.
it just means make it weird or have fun.
Yeah.
Or add a cravat, you know?
Right, right. If in doubt.
Yes. The lizard I looked up in multiple sources because I was like, that can't be real. I can't, their mouth can't open up like that.
Yeah. Can you talk about I think one of my favorite things about you talking to you in person at your solo show when so last summer? Geez, I don't even remember, Cassandra, actually.
Last spring.
Last last spring.
That's crazy.
Um was you talking about the lengths you went to find the exact reference like that you needed.
Yeah,
And it
the
was
thing
like
that
awesome.
no one knows. But actually, I was very satisfied because later I got affirmation on it. Like when I pick an outfit and I think that something needs is going to be in a time period, the outfit is fully historically accurate, even though it could be a hippo or it could be an elephant. Like I did, Smokey the dog, the Yorkie that is this hero dog from World War II. I researched his military uniform to what service he did for the military to make sure it was completely historically accurate. And it took me forever to figure out the right helmet because the helmets, different aspects of the uniform change based on the area that you're in during World War II. And so they were in the South Pacific. And so that uniform is very different from what you would have seen in Europe. So I I was scouring the internet trying to make sure I had the right information to get everything correct. And then, unbeknownst to me, later Smokey's family, like the daughter-in-law of the owner of Smokey, that this amazing dog actually reached out because she saw my painting and just wanted to tell me that she approved and that I got it right. And I'm like, I didn't even think to try to look for Smokey's family, and the son approved. And apparently Bill, who owns Smokey, had 7 kids and they all approved. And I like I heard back from everybody I did it right. But like it was one of those things that I really care about. And then to find out later I was being watched, it made me feel better about how much attention I paid to that.
Oh my god. I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, so I sent
Was
them the calendar I made of the hero animals, and the wife saved it and gave it to the husband, who's Bill's son, for Christmas. And she wrote me and just said that he was just so moved that anybody remembered his dad and remembered Smokey. And I cried reading the email that I got back because it was just so wonderful. And it's crazy. They don't live in New York. They live in Cincinnati, Ohio. And it just so happened she was researching a different artist, and it took her over to Revolutionary Gallery. And then she saw the title of my show and she was like, that's interesting. And then she looked at it, and then it blew her mind that she saw her father-in-law's dog in Story, and her father-in-law mentioned. So it we ended up having a conversation, and they're just wonderful people that I've emailed with multiple times.
Good story.
Now,
Great.
Cassandra, with that kind of research, are you also like an impossible person to watch like histories, mysteries type shows with?
Sometimes,
Be-
yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, there's one every now and then I'll stumble upon one that was like about the subject of a book I had done on some obscure thing, and I'll just make everyone around me crazy if like the leotard on the acrobat is wrong for
Yes.
the day they're depicting. Or in one case, even it's like it was, they were focusing on an item in a museum that had this amazing history to it, and except that it was the wrong day.
Yeah.
What
Yeah, that stuff
talking
makes me
about,
crazy.
and then all their reenactments were completely dressed wrong. Um, and
Hmm.
yeah, and I was insufferable for the solid hour that the people around me were trying to watch it.
I
Man.
try to just hold my tongue sometimes because, then I'll be like, but did you know this is actually how it should be done?
Right,
Or this
right.
is what they did back then. And,
Yeah,
like everyone, I can see the eyes rolling. I'll be like, all right, I'm sorry, I'm stop.
right, right.
Pretty much every show I watch with my wife.
My favorite is when they have like it's a documentary about an artist and then they have the reenactor
Right.
painting
And they
and
have like a
it
dry brush and they're
yeah,
like,
I can't control myself. That's the
No.
only time I can't control myself. It's like I saw one with Caravaggio and he was like the actor was just taking paint and just like scrubbing it like a number 4 brush just just like smearing it around and I'm like, well, no, and it's like it's not how it happened. You wouldn't do
Right.
something like that. Here's how he it just ruined everything.
that's
So
not
I
how
realized that
chiaroscuro works.
no.
Actually, right, that is actually how it happened. So I just
It just
Hey,
drives me up the wall.
I think I mentioned this before. Did you ever see the New York Stories of Woody Allen? Nick Nolte playing the
Now
painter.
I need to check that out.
Oh my God. It's the only one that I felt like that could be. That could be this guy could be an artist.
He had the feel because he
Yeah,
was doing like a whole Francis Bacon thing, right?
well, it was no, these really large scale kind of Malcolm Morley, really abstract expressionist um grand 1970s, 80s uh grand, contemporary New York world, New York gallery world. And man, he played it beautifully.
Hmm.
It looked like he was painting some of it. And I wish I had the nerve to paint like that. That's what really got me.
Like Woody Allen?
No, like Nick Nolte.
Oh, cool. Like Woody Allen's kind of dicey. Um, hey everybody, we need to move on to the next pose image. It's hashtag drawing hive 243. That's 243 episodes.
That is
Hashtag drawing hive and
wild.
add visual arts passage. I was not supposed to be here for this one, but I was like, I can't miss 200. I can't miss episode 243. Uh,
243,
Oh,
big number.
yeah, lucky 243.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just cancel the show if I miss it. No, everybody, yeah, start moving. Definitely post. It's hashtag drawing hive 243. Please post it. I want to see all the artwork at the end of the night. I want to see some of these weird animals.
Yeah.
Um, Cassandra, not someone, Xander asked, if you had gotten a detail wrong, would you have gone back and corrected the painting?
If it hasn't left the house, definitely.
Yeah. Ooh, ooh. So on that topic, I have a great example of it. Actually, I have a great dilemma that I was put in no less than 24 hours ago.
Oh, awesome. Bring it.
Okay, so um, this was very, very exciting and total privilege for me. Me and Matt Salacuse and Mark Normand and Danny from Punch Up Live, we had a premiere of our documentary, Page to Stage, in New York last night.
So
Hey,
cute.
congrats.
Yeah, it was really exciting. I've only ever been like in a theater where some people watched what I edited a few times, and it's been a really long time since I'd done it the first time. And also this is like a post-pandemic experience. So like it's wild how many people I meet still who are like, I haven't been in a theater forever. Like especially if they're parents, they're just like, no, never. It doesn't happen unless it's like Pixar, you
Well, then
know?
it's like not the pandemic that's keeping them inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not. But I think the pandemic kind of was like the like emphatic period at the end of that like era, right? But it was really
Mm-hmm.
exciting because it was like at like a cool it was also at like a cool old theater. So there were like a lot of first of all, it's fun because there's a ton of New Yorkers there, and they're all like, I grew up going to this theater. It was the Village East Theater in Greenwich
Oh,
Village.
okay. Yeah.
All right, cool. You ever be there? You ever see some there, Ray?
No, no, but I
I was
know
really hoping you'd be like,
what
I
it
saw
is
Men
for
in
sure.
Black and like do
Yeah.
that in like 1997. I saw Men in Black there.
So
Um,
Happy Gilmore there.
no, so I I send my final edits to the director, the producers, and everybody that needs to see it. And I always will be like, please, please, please review. Like you have to review. You have to download and review. And then the version that gets downloaded that gets sent to the projectionist, somebody has to review it, right? Um, because so many things can happen in transit, right? Much like a painting, right? Like an unknown number of things can happen, right? And someone's asking if we're from New York. No, everybody's from everywhere. But so I'm like thinking like yesterday, the show it's showing at 7:30 p.m. and it's like 4 p.m. and I'm like, I bet not a single person I sent this link to watched it.
My gosh.
And I was like, I should do a test download and just watch it and make sure everything's okay.
Your
Right.
anxiety is your friend in this situation.
I was just like, I should just do it just to be careful. Right. And immediately I was just like, you probably shouldn't because it's probably too late to fix anything. Like you got to get a hold of the projectionist. You're gonna have to run over to the village. Like it's gonna be a nightmare. And it's like it's like a 30 gig file. So it's like yeah, there's too many moving parts. But I watched it and I'm going through it with like laser focus. And I see there's a graphic that's supposed to overlay on an image, and whatever happens in the export, it looks fine, but then I have to upload it, to like a file transfer server. And then when it exports from that server, it's like not showing the same type of transparency. So like
My God.
instead of like, but it's not through the whole film. It's just like on one of them. Instead of showing like a screen, right? You know transparencies, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Instead
for
of showing
sure.
screen, it's showing like multipliers. So like it
Mm.
doesn't look perfect. And then I have to be like, do I freak everyone out right now?
Nope.
Or or do I just assume that for this like, 3/4 of a second, no one will notice that nothing is wrong? And thank God I called Matt Salakis and I was like, dude, what do I know the jig is up. I know nobody watched it. And and I was like, what do we do? And he was just like, it looks like a creative choice. Leave it. So we left it.
Did it
And
make you
nobody,
crazy
and
to see?
no, I couldn't watch it. I left I didn't, the second the thing started, I was like, I can't watch this. It's gonna freak me out if like something weird happens. Um,
Hey, you know what? Don't feel bad. Peter Jackson left a car riding away in the fields in Lord of the Rings, in the theatrical release. So
Oh, did he
if this
really?
wasn't, oh
Oh,
yeah. There's this scene where like they're like in the fields, like hiking, and it's like high fantasy garb, and then in the back you see a car driving away.
I know that.
Yeah.
that's funny. Yeah, no, I would go in to watch it because it's fun. I went in to take a few photos of like I wanted to see the audience. Like it's just special. Like it's one of those things where you're like, oh, like if I have kids, they this might be like a relic of the past. I don't think it will be, but like it could be.
This
Um,
your dad used to be cool story.
well, no, it's not even that. It's just like this was like this moment, like there was this moment in history where like people would go and like enjoy something in a room, and like it's cool to like I've watched so many people watch it who like are watching it either. Unfortunately, if you're editing something less than like 30 or was like 30 exactly, but like when you're at the 30-minute, it's gonna be on a phone probably. Like,
Mhm.
and so you'll notice that like there's a lot of stuff that people really do enjoy, but they do not emote when they watch it on a phone by themselves.
Right.
You don't emote as much as you are in an audience. And so it's like really a special thing, I think, to like watch something or like be in a public space, like maybe for a gallery and see people experience things like as a group, like because I do think people are more emotive in those
Mhm.
settings.
Hmm.
And so it was exciting to go in like once I felt a little bit more like, okay, I'm pretty sure we're like 15 minutes in. I don't know. I feel like a little safer. I went in and like took a photo where you could see like the backs of people's heads in the theater. Um, but it's fun because like people are laughing at stuff where I was like, oh, I didn't even know people would laugh at that section, um, or find that interesting. And you're like hearing feedback, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that's gotta be tough as artists. Like when what your version of feedback is, well, you have crit, right? But
Or
then
just
like
watching people be like, and they don't know that you're the artist, and they'll just be like, I don't get it. I don't like it.
have you experienced that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Especially like when I went to some shows, like when I was really new to the gallery scene and I had like a diaper bag on my back and a baby on my hip, like they do not think I'm the artist. And so then I'll just see them
Amazing.
like, I had one, I did a giraffe, and she's like, I don't know,
Yeah,
like 18 or 18th century clothes, very ornate, and like the way that the shoulder blades come together, it looks like a cleavage, and I thought it was funny, so I like that's
yeah.
how I painted it. And like there was someone being like, "Why would you give giraffe boobs? Like why?" Like I'm hearing like this conversation
Why?
standing right next to them.
That's pretty good. I did hear somebody say like, the first 5 minutes were a drag, but I was really it really picked up. And I was like, that's good. I was like, you gotta just say that's good. That's
Yep.
fine.
Not
That
every,
is
it's not going to be
fine.
everybody's cup of tea. That's
Um,
the way I can think about it.
but no, if you do want to rent it and support Matt Salakius, it's rentable tomorrow. It's
Ooh,
$5. $5. Punchup.live.
send me the link. I definitely want to
Oh,
see it.
well, I'm gonna just send you the link to watch it because I'm not gonna let you pay us.
I'm
Everybody else,
excited. I want to support. I've been
everybody
hearing
else is
about this
paying
for
$5.
so long. I'm really excited to see it.
Ray
This
and I
is the
are gonna pay
second one.
10.
Just for
Yeah.
any confusion, everybody, I haven't been talking about the same one for multiple years. This is the second one. Just for any confusion.
Oh, yeah, send it to me, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but
Ad-
yeah.
Adam and I are paying 10 bucks each. John, do you have 20 bucks we can borrow?
Dad.
Be wise with your money, right? Be wise with your money.
This has been my new favorite thing. Actually, I've had some really great moments lately. Is whenever anybody really flexes a major successful thing. For instance, I was on a ski lift last week and a guy with a snowboard that had the Twitter logo on it. I was like, nice. Did you work at Twitter? There's not an X. Anybody worried about it? It was a little bird. And he was like, I ran a company that made API, like did API for their sales, and then they bought the company from me. And I go, cool. Did you ever meet Jack Dorsey? And he was like, I was actually at his like I went to his kid's birthday party and like got to know him pretty well. And I was like, wow, can I borrow like $200?
I'm so sorry. What's API? What's that mean?
It's just like nerd code stuff.
Sorry, I'm not hip to the lingo.
Yeah, he was a nerd. He was a nerd. He was an insanely rich nerd.
Well,
Yeah.
then yay for him. I'm excited.
Yeah, but I thought it was funny, and he also thought it was
It's
funny that I asked him for $200. It's the best thing you can do.
oh, you
whenever-
actually you asked
I didn't. I thought
asked
you were
him that
just
question?
joking. You actually asked him for it.
No, yeah, I did because it's just funny. Like because we all know that he made an insane amount of money, and I think it's a hilarious thing to do whenever anybody insinuates a success story that made a ton of money to
That's
ask
amazing.
to ask to borrow cash. I think it's so funny because it's an impossible. It puts them in a situation where it's like, we know you have it. Like
I bet you just have that in your back pocket.
easy, easy, yeah.
What I want to see happen is one of these times just someone be like, yeah, all right, if here.
Yeah. Oh
It's
yeah, no, I wouldn't
application
accept. I
program
would.
interface.
I probably wouldn't accept that unless I thought that their source of it was I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna say I wouldn't.
Thought the money was in a better place with you than with them.
Yeah, maybe, Adam.
Hmm?
I think that's a great point. And you know what's funny? I think usually the money is like in a better place when it's when I can oversee its distribution.
Right.
Mhm.
Just kidding. Yeah.
For the record, it's application program interface.
Ooh.
Thank you,
you know,
Ray. I
yeah.
didn't want to get into it because I was nervous that I would misrepresent it.
Well, I like hesitated to say it. You were like, I'm not like a nerd, Cassandra. I don't know. I'm like, well, it's really not that complicated.
Like, here's what it actually means.
He did know that I was joking because he just laughed a ton and then didn't say anything.
And then did he just slowly ski away from you?
No, we were on a lift. We were on a lift, so he stuck with me for a while. He stuck with me for quite a while. Yeah.
I was in a group somewhere where this guy, this kind of young guy in an oversized dress shirt, kind of loudly announced that it was his McLaren parked out front.
Nice.
And somewhere in the course of the conversation, I just made a self-deprecating comment about my fashion sense and the deal I got on my shirt at Tractor Supply. And he agreed with me that it looked like I got it at Tractor Supply on a discount.
Yeah, you're gonna. Yeah, he definitely owns a McLaren. He wasn't lying then.
Right.
The real deal.
It's like,
I'll be
dude,
like,
the
well,
real-
my Honda Odyssey is out front too. You're welcome.
yeah. And he would have been like, yeah, you look like you drive the Honda Odyssey. Like, that's not how that's not how
Just jealous.
self-deprecating humor works, man.
Just
You're
jealous.
not supposed to agree with me.
What's the
You're like,
30
this
buck-
is peak fashion. You're welcome.
Yeah.
What pizzeria was this at?
There was a friend of mine was doing like design work and videography for like this country club. So a bunch of us had to kind of show up to make it look like more people belonged to it than did.
Mhm.
And I think the McLaren guy actually belonged to it.
And you're like,
Oh
you
my
know what works
God.
for this account, this situation? Tractor Supply all the way.
That's right.
Xander said,
That says country club.
Xander said those $200 would have sponsored 40 VAP views of your doc. I wouldn't have spent it on. I would have spent it on VAP merch. That would have gone into
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Vap Stogie fun. Nope.
The VAP Stogie Fund.
Well, you have
Well.
you have to create a cigar that you
Mhm.
light one end, you puff it twice, and then it's a stick of willow charcoal.
Oh, I like that. Cassandra would
Mm.
definitely use
Right?
those.
Like
I
it's
would.
a
Yeah,
I
it's a
would.
drawing
Yeah.
stogie.
You're
the
right.
IRS would be like, we saw that you wrote off $200 worth of cigars last year, and I'd be like, yeah, it was merchandising.
And
Right.
you could just cite the episode. You'd be like, you can see us using them live.
Right.
Episode
Yeah.
243, there you will see.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. You start to realize, yeah, how shallow my sponsorship requirements are. I'm like, yeah, like I immediately would be like, this episode's brought to you by BetterHelp, by Hims,
Yeah.
just whatever you need to do to biohack your way to what you want to be.
Right.
I would do it in a heartbeat.
hmm
Uh, that I'd make sure the whole hive can eat, though.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
This is a question that I think we like kind of like dance around all the time, but someone asked, when did you all decide that art was like a passion of yours? Do you all remember like a moment when you like were like, I gotta do this? Or is it kind of like a vague experience where just the whole time you kind of moved forward? Was there any like monumental moment where you're like, I need this needs to be part of my life fully?
Yeah, but it
well,
sounds
I
super pretentious.
do
It
it,
does.
Cassandra.
Do
It
it.
you because it's not going to be.
In high school, our teacher, she would pull together these cool trips. She found like a way to make them really affordable to go to Europe. And we had a trip where we went to Italy and Greece, and I was like 16, and I saw the Trevi Fountain for the first time, and I remember just standing in front of it and just being like, someone did that. I need to do stuff like this. And it was just seeing the master's stuff in person for the first time, and I was like, all right, don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it.
Wow.
See, pretentious. I told you.
It's not
Sounds
pretentious.
pretentious.
No, I mean it's quite a like what's the word? Not lucky, but just like it's a very great thing that you yeah, I'm replacing the word lucky with great. It's
Hmm.
a very special experience you got to have that like
Yeah,
very
so
few people
young.
get
I
to have, but
just kind of, yeah, had to do it.
yeah.
Ray, what about you? I feel like you had an answer.
I was at the Trevi Mountain. I just parked my McLaren and announced to everyone
Right.
that it was there.
No, this guy with a
Yeah,
Tractor Supply shirt and said, "Whatever he
yeah,
does for a living, that's what I want to do."
yeah. It's like, yeah,
Pass me that willow
uh,
branch.
right. No, I was in. I always loved art and stuff, like all of us did. Uh, and I was really into comic books, and it was during the '90s, one of the heydays of comic books, and I would go to this store all the time over the weekends, and there were two comic book places, and one of them I would go to all the time, and the other one, it was this huge store called Hall of Justice, um, and I don't know, it was like in the middle, where I was growing up, and I asked my mom, can we go there? Can we go there? And she was like, yeah, we're in the area, so we went, and we walked in, and there was this huge line, and my mom was like, what's this line? What's going on here? And uh, we went in, and my mom asked like, what's going on? And we saw this line going up to this table, and somebody was signing. And the woman came up, and she was the owner, and she was like, we have such and such artists. He's signing this Marvel issue that he did that just came out. We have this for sale. If you want to sign, it's this amount of money. And my mom was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. And it's like, Ray, go pick out your comic book. So before like the lines get crazy. And at that point, I realized that an actual human being actually drew the comics, and
Mm,
that was their career. And I thought, wow, I want to do that. And that was the beginning of it.
that's
That
cool.
that and then seeing, and then around that time, I ended up going to the theaters to watch this little movie called Toy Story, and
Wow.
that was the first time I was ever blown away by a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like really truthfully, like I have no idea how that happened, like what this is, and and people were always talking about it was the first computer animated feature film and fully computer animated, and yeah.
Good. That's a
The
good one.
rest is history.
Gary said,
Yep.
cool origin story. Then Ray got adamantium. What's it called? Adamantium.
Dude, just don't even try, okay?
Sorry.
You
Ray
baited
just
me
got
with API.
Ray
You
just got
baited me with
debated
API.
twice in one episode.
Why do
Yeah.
you know, Ray? Why do you know what API means?
Because
Because
I
he's a
like
smarty
programming.
pants.
I like programming. Shout out to the programmers.
You dabble into programming?
Yeah, HTML. That's just some like really light, like
HTML. Were you about to just say,
no,
oh, yeah,
like
you know,
JavaScript
HTML,
and
Java?
Java and some the other. No, I like programming.
I like
It's pretty cool.
Java. Sometimes I have hot cocoa.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of that raised like the pursuit of being an animator, though, right?
What, learning programming?
Well, you wanted to, I mean, there was definitely a big technical side of the animation world. And I know,
Yeah, and that was that, and also like video games were huge in my life. So and when I put the two together, that there were artists that were making video games, and that was the time when they were going 3D. So like with PlayStation and Nintendo 64, I was like, I need to learn more about computers if I want to do that. And yeah, so I heard about programmers, and I said, yeah, let me check this thing out. So
What game do you think you've logged the most time playing?
it's a great question.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Diablo 2.
No, I've never played a single Diablo, but that's a really great.
StarCraft.
No, I was more of a Command and Conquer person.
Oh wow.
I did like
That is
Warcraft
like the
2.
nerdiest game. Isn't it?
Right? Yeah.
I don't mean it like in a negative
Now.
way. I mean it like is it like smart
We
kids
should.
play that game.
Right. He means nerdy in like the 2025 way, not in the 19.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Nerdiness in you're gonna make money because you're smart.
I
Right.
didn't mean to give any of the like post millennials whiplash with that one.
Yeah.
It's an endearing term.
So Ray, you come home, you clean your retainer, and then you just go play
Just
Command and
ready to
Conquer.
go.
Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an Xbox One or something. My brother basically had a kid and was like, I can't have this in my house. I have to be a father. And he gave me his Xbox, and
Someone
and
locked
I
him.
it's so foreign. It does make me sad that the the difficulty which has been set in place to hinder people from playing like same couch multiplayer is wild, and I think it's very
Yeah.
intentional. It's really intentional, and I think it separates people and makes it less of like a communal experience. But I played Diablo 4, and I was like, okay, this is cool. It kind of reminds me of the Diablo 2 experience. And then I was like, I gotta go back to Diablo 2, see what's going on. Diablo 2 is, I mean, we're at like 25 years later. It is such a superior game. And it's not even a
It's
knock
really
at
good. Yeah.
Diablo 4. It's like a perfect game.
Is Diablo, I know now they're owned by Microsoft, but like is that Bethesda company?
Oh yeah.
My brother-in-law works there.
Blizzard.
Blizzard.
Oh, Blizzard. I'm sorry.
Well, he
Not
he
Bethesda.
worked at Blizzard
I was
first.
hesitant to say because Ray confirmed it. And I was like, I don't want to say
No, I'm
no.
sorry. When you said Diablo, I was
Yeah.
thinking Fallout. Like, oh, it's
Yeah, I
this
get
an
them.
isometric view.
Yeah.
I get them all confused. My brother-in-law used to work at Blizzard, and then he moved out to Virginia, um, with my sister-in-law and kids and stuff, and then he got a job at Bethesda.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've had the good fortune of knowing the art director of the Diablo team, John Mueller.
Oh,
Who's
cool.
very, very
You
good
know
art.
John Mueller?
Yeah, he actually taught with us for a while.
Wow. Didn't Brahm do the cover to Diablo 2?
Oh, that would make sense. I could see that.
Oh gosh, I don't know. That would be wild because that's like a, what's funny is I was at the thrift store and I bought a shirt that was the original like Microsoft Diablo 2 shirt. And I was like, this has got to be worth something. Looked it up, $20 on eBay. But I wear it all the time and people are like, Diablo 2, nice. Like
Oh my God,
it's an
it's so
aggressive
funny.
shirt to it's an aggressive shirt to wear. It's just a devil looking at people.
Yeah, I would
Um,
assume that that's an aggressive one.
yeah, it definitely looks like I'm into like death metal. But
Yeah, that's yeah,
Ray, are
it's
you
good stuff.
aware of John's graphic novel, Oink?
I'm not.
Look it up.
Oink.
Yeah,
Okay, I
Great
will.
name.
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
like his passion, and he worked on it since art school. I mean, it's been going on for like 25 years.
Wow.
it's really cool. It's a great graphic novel. I remember I got one of the early. He did a Kickstarter for it a while ago.
Really
Yeah.
good guy.
We've got a ton of workshops coming up, by the way. For anybody wondering, if you're here for the first time, you don't know any better. Xander just shared some conceptual ideas for the drawing hive stogies. We're gonna need to dip this in the butt and say I'm not. If we do, you know, branding, it's not gonna be cigars.
We got seed funding. It was $200 we got, right?
Yeah,
Or was that a false rumor?
yeah, it was kind of
Cassandra,
awesome. Yeah.
Cassandra, before you got here, we were thinking that Felicity could be our spokesperson.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Anyway, so if
Not
this is
with
your
the
first time
stick.
joining, this is all sponsored by Visual Arts Passage. We offer online classes, mentorships, and workshops. Um, we are enrolling right now, and if you do, we have let the early bird ride. So if you want to sign up now, you can still save on your first class with us. It'll auto apply if as long as you're signing up for a first class. It's $200 off. Our courses are entirely about developing skills to thrive doing what you love. It's not about learning theory. It's not about learning from a person that's outside of the industry that maybe has an idea of how it works. You're learning and working with having personal relationships with artists that are really killing it in the industry. Everybody on the panel right now teaches some class with Visual Arts Passage. Um, the biggest requirement we have for our teachers is that they're killing it, doing what they love. And I can confidently say that they're all doing that. We are enrolling right now. Classes start April 19th. But one of the cool things that's really exciting is Ian McKeag is, John, would you say Ian McKeag's maybe my biggest get for guest speakers? I mean,
Right
Ian,
up there.
yeah, Ian McKeag is a huge name. Um, if you know Terminator 2, if you know Star Wars,
Darth Maul, you know.
Darth Maul,
Sure.
Jethro Tull.
Jethro Tull, um, iconic concept artist. If you like, this is what I will say to any young artist who is interested in visual development. I am sure you have an artist that you adore, that you want to like mimic your career after, you want to do what they're doing. I promise you, Ian McKeag is their hero. Like, I guarantee it. And it's why it's going to be a packed house. That is next weekend, which
Is
means
So
wow.
cool.
you got to sign up early. The semester doesn't start till April 19th, but next weekend is Ian McKeag. So if you want to attend that, from what it sounded like, I don't think we're going to record it. So it's going to be a live experience. You got to soak it up, enjoy it in the moment. Yeah, so sign up soon. These courses are all about, it's not just guest speakers, it's all about developing your skills. It's about lessons, demonstrations, getting like hands-on assignments that are designed to help you develop work that can be added to your body of work or your portfolio. Um, it's not a one size fits all program. It's fully customized to, tailor to what your goals are. So, um, don't sleep on it. Really take advantage of it. We've got some awesome classes right now. Just go to visualartspassage.com. If you're here, you're on the newsletter. Just don't sleep on it.
I'm so gonna be there. I can't wait.
Yeah, Timmy, Ian is right up there as your biggest get or one of our biggest gets. This last semester, we had Carlo Ortiz and Wesley Burt, and two of the like monster concept artists in the industry, illustrators, concept artists. And Carla's mentor was Ian. And it's like they, people that know more about it, that part of the industry, or as much about it as anybody, and they hold him as like in the highest regard. So I can't give you a better recommendation than that.
Yeah.
I will say, just for me personally, your biggest get was Zoe Frank.
Uh,
Huge.
yeah, I might agree with that. Different industries.
Different industry, yeah.
I think I could make the argument Tom Blackshear's right up there too.
Yep.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one thing I will say is if you don't know who these artists are, that's okay. You can look them up, you can learn about who they are. But one thing I will tell you is if you don't know who they are, first of all, it will hugely benefit you to know who these names are. It will help you grow as an artist when you start to learn not just who you we live in a time of like being fed content and the algorithm, right? The it's not designed to feed you the content that is going to help you become the best artist that you could be. It the goal of it is to just feed you content to keep you on their app. And that's not how these industries used to work or this education system used to work. And we notice, and I don't want to be judgmental of like when we go to a classroom and we realize like no one knows some of the big names we mention. I think that's a shift generationally. I don't want to like be judgmental, but I do want to say like it will help you to know who these people are. And that can be harder now. I think that younger artists have a much harder hill to climb in terms of sifting through the data, right? Um, but one of the things I will say is our program is it's really designed to like it's like you're sifting for gold. Like we I do feel like we have like the best pan. John is our prospector. No, um, I it's just we help you find the gold faster. Because we live in a time where yeah, information is a lot of information is free, but knowing what's good, knowing what's going to help you, knowing the dead ends, the paths that you can go down for a really long time before you realize it's a dead end. Um, Everybody that teaches with us, they know all those corners.
I've
Um,
hung out in some dead ends in my time.
yep.
I can smell them.
Well, and it's exciting to be a part of a community. And I think something that never gets old is getting to be around also a lot of creative people, and that is invigorating and inspiring when you're feeling like you don't know where to go, to have so many other people, one, that are in the same boat with you, and to have other people who aren't in the same boat but have been and know how to get you in the right spot and turn you in the right direction is really wonderful.
Yep.
Yeah.
We know more than one artist. We know more than one artist that lived out of their car for quite a long time. And it is helpful, I think, to hear those stories and to connect with people and like have relationships with people who've been through the jungle. Um, because it really truly is like, you know, nobody ran the 4 second mile until somebody ran the 5 second mile or 5 minute mile, right?
Wow.
Like, yeah, no, like to you have to see to see it be done is so powerful.
Yeah,
And
and I've always thought that it was funny. It's like having this discussion with my father about the amount of demonstrations we did
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, they may not they learn the students learn a tremendous amount, and they may learn more from critique and assignment, maybe. But the thing that a demonstration does, it verifies it can be done. And most people that are learning have never seen it done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, oh, it's just like it's just like a couple thousand strokes with the right idea. And I don't know. It's interesting.
No, I mean, how many did we do? Or I didn't do any. It's like watching Cassandra and Ray. It's like, I don't know, there was probably 4 or 5 of the nights were just really focused on like demonstration and showing you how to do exactly what we're wanting you to learn how to do.
Yeah, you're talking about the fine arts mentorship.
Fine arts
Yeah.
mentorship program, yeah.
So, yeah, yeah, and for anybody wondering, it's not a drawing hangout. These are like hands-on, like, okay, this is the goal today. We're going to talk about this. We're going to cover these topics. Like it's very, very hands-on, actionable lessons. So if you want to learn more, just go to visualartspassage.com. You know, um, yeah. It always feels like NPR around this time of year where I'm like, donate your car to Visual Arts Passage clunkers. Well, no. Do they do that everywhere or is that just my local NPR thing?
I don't know. They do it out here too.
Okay,
Oh
cool.
yeah.
Used car stuff. Yeah, right.
I gave the local jazz station a car once.
Did you?
Did.
Yeah, there was nothing else. I had to get it out of the driveway, and it wasn't going to drive itself out.
So you look
Amazing.
altruistic, but you just didn't want to pay for it to be towed.
It was both. It was both. I gave them a donation.
You gave them like a true clunker.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was.
Uh,
They probably
They
sold it for parts.
probably did, but but afterwards they let you know what the tax write-off is. Like so
Nice.
that they do keep track of it and let you know what you made them.
This is some great altruism.
So wait, how
Really
much
was
did you make
altruistic.
them?
Yeah, I want to know.
Oh, I
how
think
much
it
they how much
really
did
was
they pay
something
for
like
this thing?
$2,000.
Oh, okay. Wasn't sure if it was going to be like $5.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say
Yeah.
they sent me a bill.
I mean, Adam, I will stand by this and say that what you did was a very noble thing because I had a car, I had a pickup truck that hit the end of the road, and it had to be sold for parts, and I did not for a second think I'm going to give this cash to NPR. I was like, I'm going to pocket. Like I immediately, it's like $2,000 just for me, please.
Mhm.
Um, so that was nice of you.
I mean, also the New York metro area too is one where if I found someone who was going to buy the car, by the time they went, oh, but if I got to rent a tow truck to get this, you're like, it. I I've known enough people who by the end of it were like, you know, basically paying someone to take their busted up car.
Yeah.
Hey, but if your busted up car can help someone else, that is.
That's right. I couldn't afford to give them a donation in money, but I could
Hey,
have.
that was ended up being a $2,000 donation. So well
Yeah.
done.
Yep.
Good work,
Good for
Adam.
you.
Thank you.
Everybody, we got like 5 minutes left in this post before I tell you start posting it. I have a question for the audience because when we choose our themes, this is a question for like the themes for the rest of the month for April. We always try to choose themes that are like, I think there are themes that we want to do, and then there are themes that we choose because we're trying to like appease the most people to have because it's a numbers game, people. We want people to tune in, right? I'm gonna be totally honest. But so sometimes we try to follow, the crowd pleaser topics or shows that everybody is watching. Um, and then we've had some shows that were like, oh, this would be a perfect show and it's a good fit, but like maybe nobody knows about it, but it's awesome. It's costumes, it's fun, or whatever.
Those are the ones I suggested.
Yes. And so first of all, I want to know, I have a poll that I'm going to launch. One thing would be because I met some filmmakers this past week that did a film at South by Southwest and it's gotten like glowing reviews. There's really like nothing about it out in the world quite yet, but it's called Bunny. It's a really cool movie because not a lot of people are making comedies anymore, especially low budget comedies. Um, but anyway, like if we can get somebody like that on as a guest and like do their film or their films that are like just costumed and we just that like you don't know the show, like are you game for it? Or do you rather have stuff that you like immediately relate to, like Severance or something, you know? So here's the poll. Are you game for it? Or are you not game for it?
See, Severance like was beautifully shot too. Like that. It's not like that one is a cop out.
It's not a cop out, but it's like, it's a water cooler.
But I think
Converse.
Cassandra and I are going to need to do the mirror and the light at some point, right? It's the follow-up to Wolf Hall about Henry VIII's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess because like it's always funny because people say they'll tune in and then like they're just like, I don't know the show that was in the email that they sent out today. So I'm not.
I
Well,
say I
that's
say
Cassandra
do it.
and I just firing a warning shot.
Yeah.
I say do it. It sounds really interesting, and we always love meeting other artists from different disciplines.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I loved that you got Gary Veter and I loved the podcast. I truly loved it.
Because I personally, if I could, I would only do like small films because it's just like fun. First of all, you're like supporting something that needs it,
Right.
you know.
You know, we were talking about great gets. And it's funny, I think, some of the people we get are going to do extraordinary things. Um, Lane's Giannis. Excuse me, I said that wrong.
Rainier?
Rainier, yeah.
Rainier Giannis, unbelievable. He came in as a guest speaker, and I thought it was great the night that he was on here. But the more I
Have to get
learned
him back.
about him, the more I was around him, the more impressed I was.
John, who's Rainier?
Rainier Giannis is a Cuban, comes from Cuba, transplant that is just an unbelievable painter. Uh, Tremendous emotional content in his work.
Yes.
He's dialed into something that very few artists can. Just I haven't been that impressed in a long time seeing somebody I didn't know, somebody that just uh, was introduced to and was like, okay, had the first meeting with them, wonderful guy, super nice guy. And then it just goes deeper and deeper and deeper. And it just absolutely blew me away.
Takes a complex thought and simplifies it in a way in a painting that when you see it, you're like, that makes beautiful, perfect sense. How do you get there? Like it's just, and he's just so casual about making those emotional leaps in expression.
You can dial into something that not many artists can. Uh, Really, really, really special artist.
Oh yeah, tremendous, tremendous artist.
And so nice and generous with information.
All right, everybody. Start posting your work. We got a couple minutes. It's hashtag.
Go ahead, sir.
What was that, John?
I'm laughing at my painting.
Oh, I think you're laughing about my timing.
It's delightful.
All right, everybody. It's hashtag Drawing Hive 243. Hashtag Drawing Hive and Visual Arts Passage. Share it now. Don't wait. We are heading to Instagram in like 3 minutes. Please, please, please post your work.
See what it looks
Thank
like.
you for helping with the poll. A lot of you said you're game for it, and I know some of you are liars. Because it's so funny how when we do some of those. But no, I'm gonna try to get some guests, and we'll start with some guests. April is gonna be a month of stars.
Yay.
Yeah.
I'll just quietly geek out.
Wondering if the color changed, the light on it.
John, did you tell everyone what supplies? I think I saw a question a while back. Somebody asked what you were using. Did you already tell people?
No, I did a drawing underneath, and I don't know why I did it this way, but I did a drawing underneath. And give me 1 second here. I'm having troubles.
I think
Um,
he's secretly hiding the info, guys. He's
Oh,
delaying.
I'm about to drop my piece on the floor. I'm just gonna set it down. I have, this is what I did it in.
That's
No,
awesome.
I had to do that with
It's
one
full.
hand. I'm using.
you're like a kid with too many things.
I know.
Yes.
That's not, I do it like this all the time. This is what it looks like every day when I'm painting. I have like huge Sennelier soft oil pastels, a brush that I put turpentine in or paint thinner, turpenoid actually. And I did my first part of the drawing in dry pastel and covered just to give a silhouette and covered the whole thing in turpenoid, just like pushed it in. And I did that so that because the paper is a little absorbent. And so when I draw on it with the Senneliers, they melt. And it's actually got a really nice feel to it. Never done it like this before. I actually learned something tonight. What I should learn is
Your
not to do.
board is a work of art in itself.
Yeah.
There
But I
is there is one drawing tonight that is hysterical.
Oh, I can't wait.
can imagine there's a bunch of them that are.
No, there's one that really is. I think
It's
it's
a standout.
gonna shake the room. AJ.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
AJ is in our portfolio class last semester and gonna do it again. Really fun working with him.
Love his work. He's got a very distinct style.
Yeah.
Love when draw and have people. I get to meet them, in study hall. Where you're
Mm-hmm.
just like, yeah, then we have Peter, then we have AJ. I'm like, what? Wait, what? Oh my god, I'm your biggest fan.
Famous-
The level of the quality and the skill set of the students in the portfolio class, the painting in the fine arts program, kind of all the way through the program is amazing.
I loved our group this past semester. I'm always a little bummed when the semester ends,
I
but
know. It's like we
Right.
get into the flow. Things get so exciting, and then I'll be like, I'm so sorry. 10
I
weeks.
love it.
Goodbye.
You guys have classes start like they almost immediately start again.
I know.
I know. I'm always
It's
ready
like
for
2
it.
weeks off, right?
Yeah, a couple weeks off.
There's always like a blink of an eye before the next semester.
But we don't always get all the same students back. So,
It's true.
Yeah.
you
It's
know,
true.
like
You have to
some,
say goodbye.
yeah.
yeah,
But
it's
it's
like
fun,
interviewing a team
though.
after.
Hey, listen, one of the biggest benefits of our program is the community wrapped around it. This is just like a look into it, and then the community that goes on and on. I mean, I can honestly say, I mean, everybody except for Ray, I met every one of our instructors when they were a student.
Oh, yeah.
You've never met Ray in person, right?
Yeah, never.
Never. Except for that time, but never.
Except for that one time I don't remember.
Never by name. You never met him by name.
Yeah.
Well, it was so funny when I had a show in Buffalo and I got to meet Ray for the first time. And you don't wear them as much now, but you used to wear headphones all the time. And I was like, you have ears.
Yeah, that's the first thing Cassandra said to me. You maybe put some headphones on. It's really weird looking at your face.
I'll tell you what, this is a perfect example. I would have never made this picture on my own unless Cassandra encouraged me.
And it's beautiful.
Oh, I
Yeah,
don't know about that,
it's a killer piece.
but I learned a lot doing it. Fun night.
Ray, you've got like Renaissance lighting there. That's beautiful.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
look-
I'm trying. I think I'm done. I'm done fiddling with this.
Oh, that's great. So Adam, this is your third or second?
This is
Third.
third.
Yeah, you're an
I
ass.
think I'm picturing animals who get flagged by HR.
That's so good.
Your entire face is
Beautiful.
that's hilarious. That's hysterical. Let me spotlight that so it's you make sure it's fully legible. It's amazing. Thanks. That's amazing.
We want a children's book, and we want a cut of all the proceeds to fund.
Oh gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
That's
I want to
so
be on the
good.
first list for the
I want
children's
to see
book list.
Cassandra's now too. I want to see Cassandra's and Ray's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. Cassandra, I love it.
Oh,
That's
it was
awesome.
good.
What a weird. It kind of looks like a Demogorgon.
That's what I'm saying. Stranger Things. Like it's. I
Yeah.
think this is where the Demogorg mouth comes from.
Did you say that earlier?
I did. I
Yep.
did.
Ah.
Yep.
I was in Timmy land when you said that.
Let's see Ray's.
Yeah.
Ah, awesome.
Wow, giving Cassandra a run for her money there.
I know.
Yeah,
I
oh,
know.
yeah,
It worries me how good it is.
Dude, stay
I
in your
did this
lane.
in acrylics. I did this in traditional. You know,
Stay in your lane, dude.
called stealing from Cassandra and Adam.
If there's room
Yeah.
for all. Yeah. So good.
John, awesome. Awesome stuff, John.
I just like that John keeps giggling like every few strokes, just working on that.
Yeah.
Delightful.
I want to take it and send it out to my gallery director here in town, and she'll be like, "What are you doing?"
You're gonna be like,
Did you fall?
you're
Did
like,
you fall?
Eva, I'm
An
pivoting.
injury or something?
Tell Eva you're making a pivot.
Yeah. I can hear her now. Could you please pivot back?
No
Just a
pivot.
slight
No
pivot.
pivot.
Yeah. However fast you pivoted this way, we're gonna need twice as fast pivoting back. All right, you guys ready to see some art?
Yes. Bring it.
All right, let's do it. Here we go.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh,
Starting off with Felicity.
Wow, Felicity.
I love Felicity has like a
Wow.
style.
Ah.
That
Felicity, it's not good to smoke. Don't smoke.
Do
Yeah,
not
please
smoke,
don't.
Felicity.
No matter what I said earlier.
Great fur
Yeah.
patterning. Really nice fur patterning.
Amazing.
That's amazing.
Beautiful, Peter.
Oh, Peter.
Peter Killer.
Yes.
Nice.
Thank you, Random Artists Online.
Yes.
That's great.
Wow. Look at
Oh,
that.
Randy.
Killer.
Wow, way to go, Randy.
Good. Wow.
Yes.
Randy's going to be in
Eric.
Randy's going to be in
Wow.
class with us, Cassandra.
know.
Oh,
Very excited.
awesome. Hey,
Wow.
great monocle, by the way. Great addition.
That's
Yes.
beautiful.
Oh, that's great.
Jeez,
Oh,
Eric.
way to go, Eric.
Eric, I'm excited you'll be in class.
Yeah, he's
Nice.
in the class.
Favorite art. Nice.
Wonderful.
Whoa.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
I
That's
love that one.
beautiful.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the little people.
Oh, they're little people. Oh, wow. They're like, attacked. Oh, that's great. Yeah.
And
Little
then are there like
G.I.
electric wires?
guys there.
Whoa. Oh, wow.
I love
Yeah,
it.
it's kind of a Godzilla thing going
I'm
on
so
here.
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice stuff.
Beautiful.
Cindy?
Beautiful.
Good.
These animals all
Nice.
appreciate the attention. People don't
They-
draw these ones enough.
They need it.
Alberto, really nice.
Why the long face?
Love
Nice.
it,
Yeah,
Joanna.
it's a very long face.
Oh,
Nice,
yay.
Virgie.
Oh,
Awesome.
Virgie.
That's really well done.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Good
Yeah.
job. Ooh, cool,
Nice.
Jeff.
Very good, Jeff.
Love it.
That's good.
Nicole,
Love
that's
that.
so
It's
good.
killer, Nicole.
That's so
That's
good,
good.
Nicole.
Oh,
Nice,
oh,
Chuck.
Damn.
Beautiful.
Jeez.
oh, beautiful.
Gorgeous color.
Great bit of
That's awesome.
Hey, we
Good
have a
stuff.
winner.
Way to be creative. I'm gonna give that one the whoa.
Wow.
That one gets the whoa of the night. It's very creative. This one's a
Wow.
this one's a real close one though.
Rebecca,
It's really
beautiful.
good.
For some reason, it
Beautifully
feels
done.
more noble
Is
than
that
the last
Felicity's
one.
mom I'm looking at?
Yeah, that's Rebecca's.
Oh, way to go, Rebecca.
Jeez.
Gorgeous.
Nice stuff.
Jeez.
Very
Wow.
People are on fire.
Yeah.
lovely.
Cassandra, you
Nice.
started this whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited. This is just pure delight.
Mm.
So
Good
good.
stuff. Nice.
Everybody's done awesome.
Oh.
Wow,
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Huh.
great.
Nice.
I
Oh,
love
that's
that.
Nice.
Albert.
Love it.
just
God.
Beautiful.
man,
Nice,
Randy.
Randy?
God.
So good.
I wonder
Great
if
job,
that's
Ephraim.
that's really great.
Ephraim, where's Bluey?
Whoa.
Whoa.
Nice.
Dang, Robert.
Oh.
Nice, Robert.
That's so
damn.
good. Great
Oh, that's
job.
great.
Love it.
Yeah.
Good silhouette on that.
This is
That's not-
great.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
that's great.
Cole,
I love
these
it.
might be my favorites of yours.
You know when you have like an image that has to I can't think of how to explain it, but where it's like you have a whole image fit into a square.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome.
that's so fun. Great job.
Fun.
Really nice.
Mhm.
Oh, nice. I did all four. That's
Great
Nice.
job,
Charlotta.
Charlotta.
No, it's Charlotta. Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Ooh,
wow.
Julian.
Julian, killer.
Timmy, I have to say this about Charlotta. She made a video
I saw it. I
of all
shared it.
the, you see, unbelievable.
It's the
Amazing
best.
how much work she got done.
Yeah.
Beautiful work.
Oh, that's so great, Peter.
Oh, that's fun.
Nice.
Here we go, Ava.
This feels like the type of monkey you could be friends with and it not turn on you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
He looks great in a top
no,
hat.
I'm
too.
gonna
I
turn
painted one in
mine-
a top hat.
I'm going to turn mine to the wall tonight. I'm
I
worried about
don't- But you know what I mean? You know how they kind of sometimes they.
Ooh,
It's
really nice.
it's the nose, Timmy. It's the
the
nose.
I was thinking the nose is in the way of their biting.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
That's
dang,
good.
that's
Who's
so good.
Oh, that's good.
So good.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh.
Good job, Nicole. You got a lot done.
Oh,
Whoa.
I knew
Beautiful.
whose that was as soon as I saw it. Way to go,
That's
Robert.
Nice,
stunning.
Robert.
Wow.
That's nice too.
Oh
So
my God, that's
wonderful.
awesome.
So great.
Looks like it's driving.
Love
Oh,
it.
nice.
Awesome.
nice.
Awesome
Good
stuff.
job.
Gosh.
Really nice.
Oh, cool. I kind of see it.
I even love that. That's awesome. Should have done that. Wow.
Cool, John.
Well done.
Hell yeah.
What a lot of energy in that.
Oh,
Great
Marcy.
Marcy.
Oh.
That is
Love what you
hilarious.
did there.
That's
Love,
awesome.
love,
Nice.
Random artist.
Really
on that.
nice.
One of my favorite random artists.
love.
That's
Great
awesome.
Good
drawing.
stuff.
So
Yeah.
Good
wonderful.
stuff.
Oh, that's
Oh, that's
cool,
great,
Jeff.
Jeff.
Which we're behind. We are going to feature the Jeff show. So
Mhm.
it's coming up. It's been a little hectic. We're gonna get to it.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh, that's
Wow.
awesome.
Just
My God.
lovely.
That's fun.
Oh man.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Gosh, this stuff's
Nice.
great.
God. Nice. I
That's
love that
cool.
one.
I love the graphic quality of that. Great
Nice,
job,
Terry.
Terry.
Stuff.
So
Awesome.
delicately done. You got the eyes so well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh,
I
I
love it.
love it.
I love the framing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good. Great job,
Yeah,
Ephraim.
Nice,
Ephraim.
Ephraim. Way to go. Whoa.
Ooh, Spork Doodly. That was so great. I
Oh,
love the name.
Gary with the
Dang,
color.
Gary.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh
Nice.
man.
I think the bird. I think the bird
It's a
cleaned up.
cool
for me.
looking bird, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Wow.
There we go.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
Great job.
Nice. We're gonna look at all of them.
Great.
Okay.
Oh, that's
awesome
so
stuff.
fun.
You did it all.
Oh,
Link.
right.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Nice,
So fun,
Valerie.
Valerie. I love it.
This is
Yeah.
good.
That's cool.
Awesome.
A lot of people drew tonight.
That's
Thank
good,
you
too.
Thank you everybody that drew tonight. That's awesome.
There's
Yes.
like it's fantastic.
Bella, nice job.
Oh, really good job, Bella.
I know
Ooh,
we're
I
still going
love
Nice.
the
through
line work
pieces.
on that.
I know we're still going through pieces, but I want to especially thank Cassandra for putting this together.
Fun ref.
And
No,
then,
thanks for letting me. That was fun.
and then Adam and Ray, thank you for coming in and drawing with us.
I love this. This
Whoa,
is a Dr.
love that one.
Susie kind of one.
Yeah.
Matches your name. Oh, wow.
Okay. That one clearly is whoa.
That's epic.
That's awesome.
Great
That's so
job.
great. Whoa.
What?
Oh,
Wait, what are the
fun.
odds of that?
Right.
Is there collusion?
Y'all are
Oh my
great.
God.
Wow.
How did that happen? What are the
Yeah.
odds?
Great minds. Yeah, great minds.
Dude, this is
Whoa. That
Yeah.
spooks
That's
that
wild.
spooks me.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
lovely. Great
awesome.
job.
the ether, Timmy.
Oh, fun.
I guess. I want to know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sally,
that's
nice.
so
Whoa,
fun,
Sally.
Done,
Sally.
Sally. Wow.
So
Very good.
cool.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, man,
Jeff.
Jeff.
You
Yeah.
got
Add it to the
so
book.
much done, man.
Great
Oh,
stuff.
that's great, Karen.
This whole group is just slaying.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Wow.
You never know how fast to scroll, and tonight was one where it was like, we needed to move. This is great.
Yeah.
Oh,
lot of
Crow,
people.
that's lovely.
That's awesome,
A few
Crow.
minutes.
All
Oh,
right.
that's
Nice.
so good. Great line work.
Yeah.
Even weirder animals.
Mhm.
Awesome stuff.
Mhm.
Nice, Danny.
Danny.
Bird.
I love the pointing person.
Bird.
Virgie, nice.
Oh, Reggie, that's so great.
Anybody else miss Bluey?
I was just
Mm-hmm.
gonna
I
say,
did
hasn't
miss that they
shown
didn't
up.
have the Bluey
I was
today.
like,
Yeah, yeah.
what happened to Bluey?
Nice.
Bluey get in
But
trouble?
they got pointing guy going bird.
Love
That's
that.
awesome.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Nice stuff.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Who doesn't love a good nose?
I
Right.
love that one. That nose.
That's
That's so
great.
fun. Yes. Great
Nice.
job. Good drawing.
Nice.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Nice. Wow.
All right, that's a great one to end on. Everybody, just a reminder,
Killer.
we are currently enrolling. So if you like drawing, you like painting, and you want to make it part of your life, you want to make it part of your career, go to visualartspassage.com. That's all we do. We focus on helping people figure out how to make that real. That was so much fun, everybody.
It was a
Yep.
great
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
All
Thanks,
right,
everyone.
Right,
Have a nice night, and we'll see you next week.
A lot
Bye.
of fun.